say it is such a great feeling to be in the presence of so many awe-inspiring people today. And teaching is honestly one of the most selfless careers that you could choose to embark upon. And there's a once-in-a-blue-moon opportunities like this one to be recognized by the majority for some of the life-shifting things that you do on a daily basis. So let's get some snaps all around the auditorium for all the teachers in here. And that's all the teachers of the year and the educational support staff of the year. And please promise me that you will enjoy your Blue Moon experience. And for the rest of this year and next year, please refer to yourself as the educator or the teacher of the year. Just walk around saying it, the teacher of the year. But there are people who see you as the teacher of the year every day you walk into your classroom. Sometimes they don't have the words to communicate it. They see you as the educator of the year. Sometimes they don't have the ink to print your name on a fancy certificate or the ability to organize a ceremony, but to them, you are the educator of their year every single day. You shape their worlds, their present realities. You feed their minds. You heal their wounds that lay on the hearts from some of the trauma they've experienced to inspire them to keep growing, thus moving forward. Those little, or if you're short like me, big, so those little big people, our students, have placed the value on your life that no amount of money can equate to. At around 7 years old, everyone in my house went to prison, including my mother. It wouldn't be much longer that I was violated in the most heinous way that a child could have been treated. I came to school each and every day, never saying a word about my trauma. Sometimes I was right in the very same seats, in the very same schools where I teach today. But the only difference is there were different teachers, there were different educators. There were educators just like you who loved me and made me forget all about my trauma. There were educators just like you who made me forget about the prison sentences, the shelters I'd call home. There were teachers just like you who washed my winter coat, purchased me clothing from their meager salaries. There were educators. There were teachers who gave me books to escape to where girls had a purpose and enjoyed adventure and would be a part of something purposeful, aka the Babysitters Club. There were selfless educators just like you who decided to be teachers because you have a love to give to all children of different ages, different backgrounds, different nationalities, and let's face it, difficult personalities. You have a love to give that will undoubtedly stretch beyond a lifetime and will serve as a huge Band-Aid for the countless members of our youth population for the wounds that they may be too afraid to tell you about. So I thank God for educators like you, because it wasn't what they taught me that landed me here before you today, but it was instead how they nurtured me during each phase of my life. So teach on, teachers. So as a poet myself, during National Poetry Month, I was relishing in the works of some of my favorite poets, including Maya Angelou. I was so wrapped up this year in her poem, Still I Rise, and I was inspired to write a poem just for you. And it's appropriately titled, And Still Teachers Rise. So if you like what I'm saying while I'm sharing this poem, you do this. If you can relate to what I'm saying while I'm sharing this poem, you do this. If you just want me to know that you're paying attention and you're here, what do? You do this. And still teachers rise. For the 180 days and countless hours beyond, we rise. We rise to the occasions when our students need a bit of persuasion to do their best on every single last test, persuasion to see that homework is in their best interest. We stay up for hours perusing Pinterest, trying to find ideas to make geometry and world history compete with Snapchat and Fortnite. We stay up all night grading papers, then submitting detailed lesson plans. We are educators, we are teachers who pay teachers because we see the worth in everything that we create. We pump up the new teachers by showing them the tricks of the trade to stay begging, borrowing, and stealing ideas, because it's the only way that you stay sane and keep up with what's new in this game called teaching. We will use our voices to speak to power. I'm gonna say that again. We will use our voices to speak to power. We will stay relevant in this hour where some citizens are still locked in the thought that teachers and educators are just glorified babysitters. We will still love those babies as if they're our very own. We will continue to unite with our teachers' unions. We will hold each other's hand tightly and pray when we find out that our fellow peers, students, and school communities are gripped with tragedy. We won't run from the profession in fear. We will continue to be influencers in the field of education for years and years and years. We rise for work on time after performing countless duties after hours. We rise when it's as if our college degrees don't seem to make us professionals, and we sit through PD after PD after PD after PD. We will rise to the occasion when we are the ones who need a little bit of persuasion. Persuasion to understand that what we do matters, that our voices are bold as our stories as amazing teachers unfold. We are the light to the little children and when the world seems like a dark place. The God in us flows through our classrooms to help finish the good work that He promises to finish on the inside of each and every one of our students. We rise to perform the duty. We create experiences for the next generation that will influence the masses. We make our classrooms mimic homes. We create room in our hearts each and every day, at the start of every day, to stay loving, to stay teaching, to stay inspiring, to stay spewing the unique love that only we educators know how to give. So continue to be a teacher who rises. Lastly, in the words of Sue Berry, the chairperson of NJCTY, she said this to me, and I think it's important that you hear it. Once an educator or teacher of the year, you are always an educator or teacher of the year. Next, I would like to introduce to you Mr. William Barnett, the teacher of music, and the students from Samuel T. Bazansky Upper Elementary School.